Hey gang, we are back. Welcome to my channel if you've never been here before. What an interesting video for you to stumble in on. And if you have been here before, welcome back. Okay, so I posted a video on the 21 new discoveries about sex that scientists discovered in 2019.
The suspense is terrible.
I wanted to go over with you this list because that's fun. I have linked the part 1 below and the article that I'm reading from is linked below. Check it out if you'd like to. Please share this channel. The videos on this channel, aside from silly ones like this, have serious info in them, legitimate info through all of my years of holistic health training that can really help anyone overcome more than 90% of any health, wellness, or body image challenge. I am an advanced holistic health practitioner and individualized weight loss and nutrition specialist. This channel is all about sharing my life and my knowledge with you, and also fun things like this. Please subscribe to this channel. Subscribing really is where the support does come from, and if you enjoy it, don't forget to give it a like. Anywho, without any further ado, let's get into part 2. So the last 11 things that scientists have discovered about sex in 2019.
Let's play.
Men are not, contrary to popular belief, more visual than women. Okay, I could see that. You know, I'm sure women get turned on with visual things. Let's see what they say. This is an oft-repeated myth. It is. But findings published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences have officially disproved the idea that men are more visual than women are when it comes to sex. Researchers analyzed over 60 different studies. Each of these studies hooked men and women up to MRI machines while they were watching porn to try to find out how their brains reacted. I've never had an MRI myself. I hear stories about how uncomfortable they are. That would probably be the most entertaining MRI experience ever. Do you get to pick what kind though? What if you're not into whatever they're showing you? Anyway, gender was the least predictive factor in determining how activated a person's brain was when viewing erotic material. 12. 1 in 4 women experienced pain during their most recent sexual experience.
I'm not exactly jumping at the opportunity to get whipped and tortured in your red room of pain.
Pain is quite common during sex. It's not like a big horrifying, oh no, and if you are feeling pain, please do speak to your doctor about it just to make sure. However, it is not uncommon to experience pain during sexual intercourse, even if you're having a lot of sexual intercourse. In a study of over 2,000 women published in the Journal of Sexual Medicine, found nearly a quarter of women had experienced pain the last time that they had sex. Of those who'd experienced pain, 49% did not tell their partner about it. Now, if you've seen the previous video or any of my previous videos that talk about anything like this, I am huge when it comes to communication and relationships. You really must communicate. Now, I'm pretty sure possibly 49% of these women didn't really think it was abnormal. Maybe it was normal. If your partner did something that caused pain unknowingly, make sure you let them know, because sex needs to be comfortable and you're not going to hurt their feelings. If anything, their feelings would be more hurt by you keeping that information from them, because unless you're into certain things, I don't think the aim is to hurt anybody.
Of course. No, don't be ridiculous.
Those who experienced little to no pleasure during their sexual experiences were also 3 times more likely to not tell their partner about the pain. Yeah, okay, if you're not experiencing pleasure during sex, you're not going to be very lubed up down there.
Can cause more pain.
Or just not being open very much. If your body is tense, you're more likely to feel more pain as well. If you don't want to have sex,
Don't be having sex, okay?
Number 13, vaginal dryness and atrophy begin in perimenopause. During and after menopause, hormonal shifts tend to cause the vaginal walls to become thinner and lubricate less. This is known as vaginal atrophy. These changes do tend to come with more dryness, which obviously will get in the way of a fully enjoyable sexual experience. You know what? Lube can fix that though. So if you're not using lube and you need to be, get some.
I brought a little bottle of spermicidal lube too.
Coconut oil is a great option, by the way. Instead of lube that's full of chemicals or whatever, get coconut oil. Be clean.
Integrate coconut oil into your sex life. 90% of all breakups are because of sexual dissatisfaction. Coconut oil is a sure bet to bring ecstatic levels of sexual pleasure to you and your partner. It's the most erotic of all oils.
It's better for your body, and coconut oil also has antifungal properties. For these women out here that are prone to yeast infections or whatnot, I would be using that over lube. But dun dun dun, a new study published in the journal Menopause has found that these symptoms of vaginal atrophy, vaginal dryness, and the sexual pain that comes with them may actually begin in perimenopause. So this is the period of time right before a woman enters menopause, which is usually between the age of 40 and 55 years old. Now, I do specialize in hormonal rebalancing. That is part of what I do in my career. You are not supposed to be having a horrendous menopause that has all of these hot flashes and mood swings and craziness like that. Same with if you haven't even approached the age where perimenopause would be starting yet. PMS alone, you should not be having painful periods that come with huge mood swings and all of that. That is a clear indicator that your hormones are unbalanced. Please comment below, send me a message, find me on Instagram over here, find me on Facebook over here. Everything is linked below, but I am more than happy to talk with you about how to reset your hormonal pathways. Alrighty. Better sex ed improves LGBTQ kids' mental health. Of course it would. I can't imagine how difficult that it is for LGBTQ kids to try to navigate the world in that way. I can't imagine that being easy, and I really think better sex ed is a huge, important thing for our youth these days. It is so important to teach our children that it is okay to talk about sex.
Where do babies come from?
Where do you think they come from?
Well, I think a stork, he drops it down, and then a hole goes in your body, and there's blood everywhere coming out of your head, and then you push your belly button, and then your butt falls off, and then you hold your butt, and you have to dig, and you'll find a little baby.
That's exactly right.
It's okay. We need to be talking about sex. This is what needs to happen in order to keep our kids safe when they decide to go start experimenting in those arenas. Speaking about sex and educating children about sex, I believe, is very important. So, here they say sex ed is important for supporting people's sexual health and helping people navigate sex safely, but it also has important mental health benefits for people in the LGBTQ community. According to new research in the American Journal of Sexuality Education, the study found that kids who received sex ed that was inclusive of people that have different sexual orientations and genders tended to have less anxiety, less depression, and fewer suicidal tendencies. Of course, because they're feeling that it's safe.
Just be yourself. Be yourself. Be yourself.
I don't care how old someone is. People need to feel safe in communication and safe in who they are and who they choose to be. And it is none of our businesses to judge anybody else in who they are or how they want to be as a person. All my goal is in life is to make people feel the best about themselves, make them feel that they can be themselves. They have permission to communicate. They have permission to share their authenticity. And I just think that makes the whole world a better place, because honestly, even when I think myself on the times where I felt most safe and secure with expressing who I am to people, it really helps a person grow, really helps a person's happy. Okay, open-minded people are more likely to cheat. I can understand that too, because they'd be more open-minded in the sense that perhaps they don't feel that cheating is necessarily a bad thing. I don't know, let's see what they say. Because I'm very open-minded. Like, I'm probably one of the most open-minded people that I know, and I would never. So, it's obviously still different on an individual basis.
Free love.
But they say a study published in the Personality and Individual Differences Journal found the personality trait that most associated with cheating was open-mindedness. In other words, people who are more open to new experiences are the same kind of people that are more likely to cheat.
How scandalous.
Seems obvious, but open-mindedness is also correlated associated with being more welcoming, more creative, more sexually liberated, and more extroverted. You know, yeah, that's true for open-mindedness, but I really don't think they should be coupling open-mindedness in with cheating. And first of all, again, scientists, come on. 16, there are at least some psychological components to why people struggle with their sex drive. Researchers interviewed about 100 couples where one partner struggles with sexual desire and about 100 couples with no such struggles. Published in the Journal of Sex and Marital Therapy, the study identified a few common traits among the partners who did struggle with desire. Apparently, these people were more likely to pursue sex simply to avoid negative consequences. Like a disappointed partner. I was like, what negative consequences happening from avoiding sex? I don't know. I can think of a lot more negative consequences that can happen from engaging in sex, but and less likely to pursue sex to experience positive outcomes like orgasms and connections. The findings also suggested they may have difficulties recognizing and responding to their partner's sexual needs due to having fewer sexual needs themselves.
There are two kinds of women, high maintenance and low maintenance. You're the worst kind. You're high maintenance, but you think you're low maintenance.
Well, I just want it the way I want it.
I know, high maintenance.
Yeah, obviously, if you desire something or know more about something, you're going to be more apt to see that in someone else. However, again, I just feel like communication is a common theme among all of these things. Like, just communicate with your partner.
Jen's dating tips for today's Bachelor.
Tip 48. Communication is key. Very important. And practice makes perfect. Hello. Hey there. Hola. How you doing?
Number 17. For women, just learning about the orgasm gap is linked to having more orgasms. I don't know if it's just me. I've never heard of the orgasm gap. Let's Google, shall we?
The orgasm gap.
The orgasm gap refers to the fact that in heterosexual sexual encounters, men have more orgasms than women.
What?
Not fair!
You say that so often. I wonder what your basis for comparison is.
So it's about orgasm equality and...
The gap between how many orgasms men and women are having? I'm not quite sure, but...
You can't make this stuff up.
So the scientists say. A study published in the Journal of Sex Education found female students who had taken a sexuality class that discussed the orgasm gap tended to have more orgasms and better orgasms after learning about such a thing. If you can explain the orgasm gap to me properly, interested.
In our survey, we asked men and women to report on their most recent sexual behavior that occurred with a partner. What we found is that about 85% of men said that their partner had an orgasm when they had sex. This compared to only about 64% of women saying that they themselves had an orgasm when they had sex. This has come to be known as the orgasm gap.
18. Okay, now these scientists working really hard to figure these out. Parents have better sex when they like each other. Wow! So, lo and behold, you're gonna have better sex if you're having sex with someone who you like and who likes you back.
What?
Well, obviously.
Yep.
Researchers talked to 93 couples and found those who complimented each other more and had higher opinions and spoke more highly of each other tended to have higher levels of sexual satisfaction in the relationship. Again, that goes back to one of the previous ones about, if you feel desired, you have better sex. If you feel liked, yeah, you're probably gonna have better sex. This is ridiculous. It may seem obvious, but many long-term couples, especially parents, who readily admit that just because they're married and in love does not mean that they always like each other.
I love you, but I don't have to like you right now.
They don't have the best sex. That means that couples should never dismiss the importance of making sure that feelings of affection and positivity still live on in their relationship. If affection and positivity has died down in your relationship, not as a mood, but it's actually gone from your relationship or died way down, communication. Can someone please explain why people don't communicate? I'm so confused. One of the best tools that I have found in my own relationships through life is that communication is key. Communication makes everything better, and the biggest key about communication is not to wait for a disagreement, an argument, heaven forbid a fight, Don't wait for that. If something is bothering you, or you feel maybe one day something might have, I don't know, if you have any concerns, bring it up to your partner. And especially if things are good at the moment, when you bring it up, the walls are down, there's understanding, there's no finger pointing, there's no blame. I'm going off, I digress. Anyhow, communicate with your partner. Post-coital dysphoria affects men too. Again, I don't know what post-coital dysphoria. It refers to inexplicable feelings of sadness, frustration, or distress after having otherwise pleasurable sex. Okay, that's interesting. So that's almost like postpartum depression, but from sexy time, I guess. Some people assume that women are more likely to be emotional after having sex, but a study published in the Journal of Sex and Marital Therapy found that 41% of men have experienced PCD and 20% experienced it in the last 4 weeks. Okay, I'm very curious here as to where that comes from. Is that a chemical imbalance? Is that because you're feeling emotional? Is that because you've just cheated and now you're guilty? Is that, like, I feel like there could be many reasons of that. Comment below if you've experienced it. Interesting. How you feel about your genitalia affects your sex life. Obviously, what if, you're one of these women who have like giant, so-called beef curtains. Beef curtains! What, you're not gonna be that open to opening your legs, I would assume.
Nearly half of all British men, over half actually, about 60% say that they are concerned about the size of their manhood.
Meaning concerned as in small?
Worrying that it's too small.
No girls have ever said anything, never had any complaints or anything in the bedroom, so...
But it's not about the size of the engine, it's about the driver.
Feeling self-conscious about your vulva or your penis does actually affect how much pleasure you're going to experience during sex. Of course, one thing that is absolutely true scientifically about orgasms and sex and the sex response in the brain is the fact that if you are feeling mentally negative about anything, so shy, closed in, nervous, scared, self-conscious, you're a little bit tense, your mind is not completely in this, your body is not completely in this, you're not going to have a completely fulfilling orgasm.
It's science.
People who felt more confident, so says the Journal of Sex and Marital Therapy again, tend to have less stress with their performance during sex and better sexual functioning, which includes getting turned on easily, having more vaginal lubrication, and being able to orgasm with ease. Again, I have linked below a video that I made on the magical mysteries of the female orgasm, in which I do explain that part of the biggest reason that females are not satisfied with their orgasms, if that's the case, is because it's in their mind.
If you could clear out all that space in your mind that you're using to obsess over this guy and your failed marriage, you'd have a vacuum with a doorway. And you know what the universe would do with that doorway? Rush in.
Check out that video. And number 21, sexual desire is buildable. I thought these were going to be like mind-blowing scientific discoveries. For couples experiencing sexual desire today makes you more likely to experience sexual desire tomorrow and have sex tomorrow. That's what it says. According to a study published in the Archives of Sexual Desire, that means couples who want to improve their sex lives should continue starting small. Adding a few moments of heat and turn on daily, even without having sex, will build up sexual desire over time. Alright, well, there will be a video coming down the line all about the penis, so don't miss out on that. And yes, it is educational. It will be talking about the inability to orgasm, impotence, and all of those things regarding health and your health. If you thought this video was helpful, informative, or entertaining at all, please give it a thumbs up down there for me. That lets me know what kind of content to keep producing for you. If you would like a notification of each time I post a new video, including the penis one, please do hit that bell notification icon and you will be sent a notification each time I upload. And please subscribe to this channel and share it, because as I said, aside from silly videos like this, there are some videos with serious quality, legitimate info in them that can help heal more than 90% of any health, wellness, or body image challenge. So until next time, have super amounts of fun in your life, have super amounts of fun with your own intimacy adventures, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.